and then we can. So first thing first, I don't know. I mean, I didn't. Did I ask you to create the arc, the developer edition arc?
Yes.
Okay. So all of you were you able to create an arc?
Yes, Shrikant.
Yes, Shrikant.
Okay, good. So I mean, all of our work, so that whatever we are going to do, so we should be able to do all the work in that arc. So let's use that arc. I mean, whoever has installed VS Code, I will slowly go through it. Please follow me the things. If not, please, if you just have an arc, so please, you can also do these things using developer console. So in order to authenticate an arc, all you do is go to, please open your VS Code and select view and command palette. And once you go there, and yeah, first thing first, let's create a project. Let me actually close this thing, and I can walk you through step by step. Close. Yeah, so let me actually close this guy also. And first, when we open, I just opened VS Code. Please, you also open VS Code. And let me do some housekeeping stuff here. So what we'll do, so first we will create a project. You can directly go to view command palette. So there is a little bit of keyboard shortcut if you want to use it. I think it is control. For Windows it is a little different, and for Mac it is a little different. So, but if you go here, view command palette, it will be the same. And so if you don't see anything, so please select this create project, SFDX create project. It will prompt you what kind of project you want to select. A template, select standard, and then it will ask you to give a name. So just give some. I'm giving dev training. Whatever the name that you want to give. So just give some meaningful name. Once you give that, so it will basically ask you where do you want to save this thing, the work that you are going to do. Typically I create a folder for all my work, basically projects folder, and so in here basically I'll create project under projects folder. So I say create project. So that will give you a base template. Let me know if all of you are able to do this, or if I have, if you have any problem, maybe I can go through one of you. Kishore, Bharati.
Yeah. So you selected sales SFDX project, and then you selected standard, and
Yeah.
then you picked the path, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'm just picking the path. Give me a minute.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you want, I will stop sharing. You can share your screen if I mean, if you have a problem.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, I may need to make you presenter if you want to share.
I think I'm good. I selected.
Okay, good. I mean, do you see something like this? Basically, Dao training and I mean, a lot of stuff. Some plate kind of folders and these things will be created for you, and that's the output you should be expecting to see.
Yeah, I see husky.vs code config.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
you are good to go there. And Bharati, are you good to go?
Yes, Shrikant,
Okay.
I'm open to that.
Okay, and I
What?
think Pravina, so if you, I mean, since you didn't install, one thing that you have to do, maybe yeah, I think we can go through that in a bit. So, you will directly log into your org. So,
Okay.
and, so for Kishore and Bharati and Nalini, so Nalini, I know you were just watching.
Shrikant, before we go there, right? Like, the reason you picked SFDX project, right?
Mhm.
Why did we pick that?
Yeah, that's basically is saying, so we want to create a Salesforce kind of project. So you have two options to create. One is with manifest and one other one is without manifest. I mean, I mean both will work. I usually pick the just without manifest. I will explain those things. What is manifest and all a little later. Those will be useful for deployment sake. So, but typically you'll be okay without no, that one also. Um, yeah, so that is basically it will create a structure that is needed for Salesforce. So, in simple things.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so this force.app and all. I mean, if you the VS Code will give you, I think, different projects that you can create, and the for SFDX one is mainly for Salesforce thing. So I believe you guys installed the SFDX so Salesforce this guy. So that's the reason why you are seeing all those things, the Salesforce extension pack. So if you didn't install it, you won't even see that SFDX project and all. Okay. Yeah, Bharti, I believe you already
Okay.
installed Salesforce uh, install package.
Yes, Shrikant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one is that? Salesforce web component.
Hi, Shrikant. This is Swati. Actually,
Yeah.
I've not attended the previous class, but this is my first class. But I have actually installed the VS Code and the extensions that
Okay.
were mentioned.
Uh-huh.
But now, when I click on extensions, I'm only seeing Salesforce CLI integration. I do not see any of the other ones.
Yeah. See, look for this guy, Salesforce extension pack. So I wanted you to install this guy. This will install all of them for you. So
Okay, got it. I see that. So I'm just clicking on install.
yeah,
Git.
very straightforward one. So once you
Okay.
do that, when you
Okay.
go, yeah. So let me know once that is done.
So there are two of them, right? Like extension pack, and there is an extension pack expanded. I don't know if it is. One has 9 in them, and the other one has 13.
Okay, yeah, and the other one I don't know. Let's look at that guy. So
Yeah, I kind of installed the one with 9.
9. Okay, I am doing that. I'm doing the 9 now.
Let Shrikant confirm.
okay, so most probably the other one should be for commerce package and those things. Let's see. I mean, this is good enough for us.
Okay.
This expanded. Is this the one?
Yeah,
Expanded.
that's the
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. what it does have. Okay, XML. I mean, yeah. So eventually, I mean, we install these ones also. I mean, if you just look at for Salesforce one, I mean, this is also a good one. So you don't. I mean, you will see some of these use cases for Apex Log Analyzer for debugging sake and all. And this prettier, when you write the code, basically it will basically format it and color it, adds some colors for tags and all. This yeah, actually this one is also pretty good one, so you can install this one too. So actually let me,
So do you
Yeah.
recommend 13 to be installed?
yeah, so I don't see any problem, so I think
Okay.
we can go ahead and install the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, I individually install the prettier and
The required. Okay.
the Apex Log Analyzer,
Okay.
Apex PMD, these things potentially. I mean, if you
Got it.
see here, I mean, the main difference between that one and this guy, so the 9 earlier ones, they're all done by Salesforce. If you see the name of those things, and
Yeah.
the new guys, the ESLint, I mean, these are all for coding when you are writing code. Basically, linting means basically cleanup kind of thing. Okay, these guys will help. I mean, this is from Red Hat XML, and this is some individual contributor, and this is Financial Force, and this is kind of a Salesforce Apex Sense partner, and they actually did very nice job with this log analyzer. I mean, when I have some time, maybe I will share some videos with these guys. Actually, when you are ready for debugging and those times, and these guys did very nice job and with visualization and all.
Okay.
So let's, yeah. So yeah, go ahead and install this guy. So that will help also. And now, so for you, so you may have to go through these things. View, create project.
I
And,
did that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I just created the project, same dev training.
Yeah. Okay. So now, so the next step is if you see on the bottom, there you will see something like no default arc set.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so just click on that guy, and now it will say authorize an arc. Select authorize an arc.
Okay.
And since you created the developer edition, now
Yes.
you have to say production. So simply
Shrikant, if you
select
don't mind, I missed that part. How did
okay.
you?
Yeah, on the bottom you see this no default arc set. Just click that guy, and now you will get a pop-up. Authorize an arc.
Okay.
And select production. And now give an arc name. So basically you can give, I mean, any name. Basically now, since we are doing developer training, you just give dev training. I mean, name doesn't matter. So basically whatever the name that you use, you will see that at the bottom. And so that's kind of alias for your arc. Okay. Just give some name and then hit enter. It will take you to a browser to authenticate arc. So you should have remember your username and password that when you created that arc. So when it goes to the browser, just enter those user IDs and password. So for me, so I already logged into the arc, so that's why I see this thing. But if you don't see it, so basically select login with a different username and give your username and password. And basically this one is the way we are authenticating. So this is called OAuth authentication. It's I mean, from now onwards, since I authenticated once, I don't have to remember my password. I simply can launch this arc whenever I want. So that's the advantage. And also from CLI, when we deploy any code to, as you are writing code here, it will be easy for us to deploy the code to arc. So those are the advantages with this type of authentication. So let me know if you guys can.
Shrikant, after giving the dev training thing as text and then hitting enter, At the bottom, I see running SFDX authorize an org and source Salesforce CLI integration extension.
Okay.
And
So it should
got
take
a-
you to
okay, browser.
browser.
Okay, let me check. Oh yeah, it did. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even for the first time, it may be little confusing and all. I mean, it is very simple if you go through maybe two, 3 times. And I mean, this is the recommended way of doing things. That's why I'm just asking you to do all this stuff. For Pravina, I think I will come to you in a bit. For you, I mean, did you log into the org directly? I mean, since you don't have the ID, so basically you will straight away log into the org using login.salesforce.com URL.
Okay.
So far, Kishore, were you able to get in?
Yeah, actually, it opened in IE. I was just trying to. Yeah, just give me 1 minute.
Okay, so how do you do? Basically, you need to change your default browser.
Yeah. What's wrong?
I mean, maybe for authentication, you may be okay. Just give that one. Are you on Windows or Mac?
Windows.
Windows. Okay, I think maybe it might give you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's working fine on Chrome browser, and I logged in. It's not allowing me.
Try these things. Basically, start default apps, default web browser. I mean, if you are on office laptop,
Yeah.
I mean, you may have to change it little later. So,
It's fine. Yeah, let's keep moving. I don't want to hold
or can
everyone
you?
up.
I mean, Edge is also okay, Kishore. I mean, Internet Explorer maybe it's little. I mean, Salesforce doesn't support anymore. But if you are using Edge, you should be okay.
Okay, I can use Edge. I
You
can
are
just
using
log in
Edge.
to say I'm using Edge now.
Okay, yeah, Edge should be. I mean, if you are using Edge, you should be able to get in, and I don't see any problem with it.
But I can just open it and then log into the org, right? That is fine too, right?
I mean, we are going to do a lot of stuff from here. So now, once you authenticate, you will write code here, and we ask the local machine to deploy. That's the main idea.
So I have to make the default as Edge and then try doing it, or can
No,
I just log
is
into?
Internet Explorer not working at all for you, at least for authentication?
No, it is not. I tried my because it worked on Chrome, but not on IE.
Let me stop sharing. 1 second. Let me make you. I mean, it might be useful for others also. Let me. Okay, so I made you host. Can you please share your screen?
Yeah, 1 second.
And while Kishore is trying, so Bharti and Swati, are you guys good?
Actually, I have a, sorry. Yeah, I have an issue too.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth spending some time on these things.
Okay, thank you. So for some reason, I'm not able to log into Salesforce. It popped up. I mean, like once I clicked
So
on
you
it.
forgot your password.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, can you try to? I mean, you should have got an email from Salesforce. I mean, worst case, what you can do, you can always spin up a new org. So it shouldn't take more than a minute to get org set up.
Okay, so do you think? I mean, I was trying with both my office and then my personal, but none of them work actually. So.
So Shrikant,
Cancel
I'm
this one,
sharing.
Kishore. Cancel this one, and try one more time.
Production.
Sorry, production, right?
Yeah.
And give name.
Given name.
Usually, I mean, I
without
don't recommend
space.
space.
Yeah.
It's better. I mean, I think it will work with space, but it's better not to use space. Okay, so now slowly, I mean, it might take some time. You should keep an eye on your browser.
Mhm.
So is there any other way, Shrikant, where I can recover my
Yeah. So go. I mean, at least you should have your username. If you go back to your email, there should be an email authenticate org or something. So when you created an org, so go back to that one. Underneath that, I mean, there will be username that Salesforce already sent you. While activate your org by clicking this link or something. So underneath that, there will be username. Use that username. I mean, copy
can you guide me through
Yeah.
that?
1 second. Yeah, Kishore, is it not opening the browser? What is the screen?
I don't know what's going wrong with my. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I see this.
Yeah. Enter username password here.
I don't know. I mean, like the user ID and password is right because I'm able to log in on Edge and Gmail. Chrome. Yeah, I don't know what.
Do one thing. Open that another tab.
This one?
Yeah. So the tab.
Tab,
Yeah.
right? This opened
No,
up.
that's fine. That's fine. So I just
Okay.
want you to, I mean, use the login URL, login.salesforce.com. Most likely the browser is not supporting, I think. Let's see. Okay, so now go back to your VS Code and close the other browser, Kishore. Keep this guy. Close the other browser window. I mean, Internet Explorer. Yeah, this guy, close it.
Internet Explorer, I closed it.
What is this one?
You know what? This one. Hold on 1 second. Let me share the other screen. Maybe this is messing up.
Yeah, meanwhile, Swati, go to your, did you find that username?
Okay, let me share my screen actually.
Yeah, 1 second. So I think let's fix Kishore thing. We'll come back to your screen share. Meanwhile, did you find your username or no?
So I am actually on my trailblazer.me page.
Okay. No, that one is a little different one. So
okay.
Did you use the link that I sent and asked you to create an arc?
No, I did not.
Okay, yeah. So then use this link.
Okay.
I mean, it shouldn't take much time for you, so you should be okay. Let me ping the link.
Shrikant, yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah. No
problem. Oh, sorry. Just ignore that guy. I was trying to copy paste the link. It sent another one. Yeah, use this link. Swati.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, Kishore.
You see my screen?
Yeah.
God,
Is it, did it open browser?
Oh, yeah, I was able to log into Edge.
Okay, no, I mean, so if it opens, basically it has to come back here saying, okay, and also immediately it will change the name on the left hand side saying that it
Okay,
becomes
sure.
your default arc.
Because it opened up in IE and we switched to Edge. It did not work.
Yeah, do you think you can, do you have access on your machine to change your default browser?
I think so. Yeah, where do we change it? Shrikant?
Yeah, let's see. I just saw that.
Let me Google it maybe.
1 second, I think I have it here. Yeah, start and default applications. Yeah, default apps. And web browser. And
I don't see. Oh, okay, in a web browser. Okay.
select, okay, then select Microsoft.
First by app.
When it says under web browser, select the browser you currently listed and then select Microsoft Edge. Okay, yeah. I mean, use Chrome. Yeah, it's
Chrome.
okay. I think either one is fine. Sure. Usually, I mean, both works.
One second.
Okay, I'm able to do it, Shrikant.
So you got R
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
were
Yeah,
you
I
able
got
to
it.
authenticate?
Yes.
Okay.
So now I actually see a home, setup home, object manager and everything
Setup. Oh, okay. So okay, you
of
were
the
able to
browser.
log in. Were you able to authenticate from VS Code also?
Okay. From the VS Code, I don't know if I did
Yeah,
that.
Kishore is actually doing right now. So you
Oh,
see,
okay. Let
no
me.
default arc, authorize an arc.
Yeah, I did this part. Yes.
Okay.
Production.
So production. Yeah.
And
Just
I gave I gave a name called dev training org just to.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was doing this, web page opened up and I gave my credentials over there.
And
I
you
was able
see
to
the
log
arg
in.
also populated back here.
Yes.
Okay.
I see my name in the
And
VS Code.
Bharati, I hope you are also good to go.
Just give me 5 minutes, Srikanth.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Is it not going to the thing, Kishore?
Yeah, it's going. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it came back. Okay, I think you're good to go.
Dev
So,
training. Yeah, I'm good.
Actually, I am seeing a red mark saying authorize an org failed to run.
Okay. Yeah, and do one thing. Kishore, can you stop sharing and make
What
her
do I
host?
do here, Shrikant? Like now,
No,
authorize an
you are
org.
good. Basically,
Show only in status bar.
you can just ignore it. I mean, I always keep it that pop-up thing. I mean, you can change that setting, but it yeah, stop sharing and make Swati post.
Okay, I stopped sharing.
I don't know whether I can do it. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have access. I think you have to make her host.
1 second. Where do I do that if you don't mind?
Yeah, and if you click on participants, you see all participants' name,
Okay.
and then more.
More. Right. asked to start video pin. I make as host, right? Yeah. Okay, I did it.
Yeah, actually I can reclaim host. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it.
Okay, I got that. I'm just sharing the screen.
Hmm.
So you see this,
Yeah.
Shrikant?
Okay, I mean, I see it is successful. Okay, do one thing. Cancel that guy. Just close that small pop-up. I mean, to make sure whether you are successful or not. You see
Okay.
on your left-hand side,
Yeah.
there is small monitor thing to the dev training. There is plug, yeah, that guy, open arc. Just click that.
Okay.
I mean, if your authorization is successful, you should be able to see this arc without logging.
Yeah,
So you
got
are
it.
good to go.
All right.
So yeah, same thing, Kishore. You also, I mean, you can close your browser. You can simply click this link, and you should be able to launch your browser.
Okay. I will be stopping.
1 second. So you want me to close the browser where I authenticated, right?
Yeah, I mean, just I mean, for you going forward, whenever you need to open your org, you simply go to open this Salesforce thing, and you can simply click on that monitor thing that will automatically take you to
To the
Salesforce
browser.
without you authenticating anymore.
Oh, okay. The next to dev training, there is a small icon where it says open org.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in future, what you will do, I mean, going forward, you might authorize multiple orgs. I mean, if you see here, when I click on this guy, for me, it will show a lot of orgs. These are the multiple orgs that I used over the time. And I can simply switch to any org, and I can simply go to that org and work on those. So that's the advantage with these things. I mean, I don't have to remember any password. Once I authenticate, basically everything will be with me. So that's the advantage. Okay. Okay. So anyone needs time? So Swati, good, and Nalini, I know you have some laptop thing going on, and Bharti, I know you said
Yeah, I am also. I'm good. Just now I opened.
you are good.
Yeah.
Okay, and Pravina, what about you?
Yeah, I created the R, but since I don't have Visual Studio,
Okay.
I will just
Yeah.
listen and I'll follow the recorded.
No, I mean,
and then
no. So what I want you to do, can you please open your org?
Okay.
And what you can do to follow the stuff. So am I sharing on my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so so what you'll do, potentially you go to this gear icon, open developer console. And so today I think we'll be using this guy. So go to debug and open execute anonymous window. So just use that guy, and potentially we'll be using, I mean, you can use this thing. And the counterpart for this one in VS Code is this guy. So basically you can write code. I mean, go to scripts, and under Apex, so there will be some template code that they have provided. So either we can write here or we can write our own file. So we will use that guy. So if when we write this here, we can simply by clicking execute anonymous apex, so that will go to this arg, and it will execute and it will show us the results. So that's the advantage here. And for you, Pravina, so you will write code here, and you can simply hit this execute button here.
Oh, okay.
And also, I mean, when you want to see some logs and all, you simply select this guy. And so So yeah, simply you can add a few lines of code. I mean, I will walk you, I mean, I will tell you what needs to be entered and all. I mean, we will all go through some of these things together. And I mean, this is how you execute code in developer console. And the same thing, we can just copy this guy and we can take it. I mean, maybe in for us who are using the VS Code, right click on Apex, I mean scripts Apex, just create a new file. We can write this one as data types.
Yeah, Shrikant, so I opened the anonymous window.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, what I want you to do, I mean, maybe we will, today we will try to go through the data types in Apex. And so maybe execute some few small commands. That way you'll understand how to use the tools. And also slowly you will understand how to use the data types in Salesforce. Okay.
So Srikanth, when you create a new file, right? Every file you create has to have .apex.
If it is Apex class, typically you add that Apex. And let's say if I add something test dot maybe txt. Okay. So you see here, I cannot execute this code right from here, but I can take the same code. Let me see if it works. You see this execute anonymous. I can simply click on that one. It basically executes and show the output here. Okay. Whereas if I take this thing, copy this guy here. So now, I mean, there are multiple ways to do this thing. Let's see if, yeah, you can still execute it like this. Yeah, so that it also execute that code. But whereas if you add that Apex thing, the main thing is it also identifies the data types and these things. Whereas
Actually,
here it is
If you,
plain text.
yeah, if you go here, right, like in the text file, you selected, and then where did you select it?
Okay, so basically most of the commands, either you go to view command palette. And
Okay.
once you go here, you will see a lot of commands that you can use. Potentially, when you see SFDX, you will get a lot of SFDX commands. Okay, so basically, this is how. This is all because the extension pack that you install. So because of that, you will get all these things.
And SFDX stands for Salesforce Developer
Experience.
Experience. Okay.
I have created this Apex file, Shrikant, data types.apex, but I do not see that execute that line in my file.
Did you write maybe a few lines of code?
I tried writing, so before write, oh, so okay, after typing in the,
Yeah, once you have some bare minimum code, then it will show that thing.
got it, okay. I have to save it? It doesn't, it saves automatically.
Okay, yeah, actually I said this guy, I mean, go to file, select this auto save.
Okay.
I mean, that helps you a lot. Otherwise you have to basically hit Control S, otherwise it won't save. It's better to select this option.
I actually wrote the same number of lines, I mean, same thing, but I don't see that execute thing still.
So are you on Windows machine?
Yeah.
How about you, Kishore? You are also on Windows. Do you see that thing?
Says executed ended, but I don't see hello world printing.
No, okay, yeah, that one will come if you want to see.
Oh,
that
okay,
thing,
system.debug. Okay, got it. Yeah, it executed actually.
Yeah, so basically what we did, so we simply defined a variable, and I mean, we call that variable string. I mean, so the basically syntax for defining anything in Salesforce, first you will say what is the data type of that, and then the variable of it. And then, basically you can use quotes, or if you want to assign variable right there value, you can simply set that one also right there. Or you can in the next line, basically I'm setting it this guy. And so system.debug is a console writing thing. So I pass this guy. Now if I execute, yeah,
So
we'll
if I
come to
don't
you.
see that execute, I don't know why I'm not seeing that, but if I don't see that, how should I execute it?
Yeah. So we'll come to you once again.
Okay.
Why is this guy saying variable does not exist str? Yeah, see here, Kishore, you will see variable assignment. The debug, there should be some debug statement. Yeah, so right here, you see the debug.
I'm looking at it.
Swati, so did you save it? I mean,
It's a curly bracket, right?
this one is
If-
not. This is
It's
regular
not brackets.
brace.
Regular braces.
Yeah, and that on keyboard 9 and the 0 thing.
Okay. Maybe that's the.
So you still don't see the thing, Swati?
No.
Yeah, what you
Shrikant, I
can
don't.
do, select
Mhm.
this thing
Yeah.
and go to view command palette.
Uh-huh.
And so you can, if it is not there already, so you can just type in execute or something, and or anonymous, one of those. Basically, you will see that command, and you
Got
can
it.
simply execute that guy.
Okay.
But you-
Now it shows something. Yeah, it executed successfully.
Hmm.
And it says execute anonymous apex successfully ran, and then I have options on something like show only in status bar.
Yeah, usually if you go to this output thing, you will see that.
Yeah, correct. Okay. I am in the output.
Yeah, usually that defaults to that one.
Okay.
And
But I don't know why then I'm not seeing that line.
couple of things. This one is, when did you install SFDX today?
Today, yeah.
Do one thing. Basically, what you can do, SFDX update. Can you, on the terminal, go to the terminal tab.
Yeah.
And type in SFDX update.
I am
and
at
see-
it shows my when I
Yeah,
click
because
it.
I'm in Mac, so mine is
Oh,
little
okay.
different.
Okay,
But-
okay.
So
Safety.
as of today, the latest is 7.1.51. So you should have this guy, and
Okay.
that
I have to
one,
click SFDX update, is it?
enter SFDX update.
Update. And okay. No semicolon. Okay.
If you install,
Yeah, I am seeing it as 7.151.1.
okay, so I think you are on latest.
Okay.
This one is kind of, this is the latest from Salesforce. I think with summer release, they said they started this thing earlier. What we had to do, potentially we go all the time. We used to go here, do all this thing.
Correct. That's what.
They just made it little simple to execute.
Easier. Yeah. All right. Okay. Maybe I'll restart and I'll check for tomorrow.
Yeah, but
Actually-
there are always multiple ways to do things. But this is easiest. If you don't see it, try to reboot.
Okay.
Srikant, I gave the command SFDX update in the terminal thing. It says SFDX CLI updating CLI from 7.151 to something else.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that is fine.
We can still continue, right?
Yeah, since usually I believe that
Yeah.
these guys Salesforce, every Monday they update CLI. They add more features. So maybe they must have something new for you. But I mean, yeah, it's always, I mean, typically whenever I use CLI, I just, I mean, first thing that I do is SObjects update, and maybe whatever new Salesforce has done, so that will come to me. Basically, if what all there are any bug fixes or anything, so those automatically will get it. Okay, so I mean, couple of things here. Maybe I will go through the IDE stuff a little bit. So this guy is File Explorer. If you want to see all of your file contents and all, so because we are writing files, and you will see those. And if you see here, open Reveal in Finder, maybe Windows, it may be little different, Reveal in Explorer or something, you will see, and that will take you to the Windows folder, basically where the file system is there on your local machine. And other things, I mean, you write these files, and I mean, I will go through little bit in detail on these things little later. So this one is all Salesforce stuff, but these things are all the window, I mean, the VS Code stuff. Let's go through this. And if at all you want to search for any files or anything, you just go here, you file search for those files. And slowly we will get into GitHub and all. So that's when we will use this source control, and you can authenticate some GitHub. You can push your local files into GitHub and all that stuff. We can slowly we will do those things. And when we want to debug any files, I mean, you write some Apex code, and if you want to debug something, so then potentially it will come here. You will see the variable values, all that stuff. And those debugs we can see. And this one, you are already little exposed for this thing. If you want to install new tools, basically you can go here, you can install those things. Let's say if you want to write some Python code and all, so basically you can install some Python related things, and you will proceed from there. And if you have any Apex test classes and all, so you will be able to, those will show up here. You can run these test classes. We will see them little later. And since you already authenticated your dev training org or Salesforce org, you can see that org right here. Basically all the metadata of that org, you should be able to see when you click on this guy. And if you want to bring in any of the metadata into your local machine, so it should be simple quick, I mean simple click. With that you can bring some metadata into your local. I will show you one in a little bit once it opens. So now what it is doing, so it is going to Salesforce org, and it is bringing that org metadata, all that account, all the objects, and if at all we write any classes and all, so it will show. Since we didn't write anything, so you won't be seeing much. But let's say there is this custom objects. If you open this guy, and Salesforce treats everything, even those standard objects, so they treat those things as custom, and you will see them. And before I do anything, so if I go here, now we are looking at the Salesforce project that we created. And we talked about this Apex. We will come back to this one in a little bit. And here is our Force app main default. So under here, all the Salesforce metadata on local machine we can see. And when I open this objects, there is nothing here. So since we use some template, that template won't have any metadata. So it basically just creates a folder structure, but nothing more than that. Now, if I go back to this icon, I mean org browser icon. So let's say I mean, when you open this account, you will see all these guys on the fields on the account object. I mean, when you look at the org, so basically you open org.
Because while it opens, initially you created a project, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where is that?
There's this first thing. When you go here, you will see your org.
Okay, so that's okay.
That's your local. So when I say a project, basically you created a project, a folder structure in your local
Okay.
machine. That's what it
Just
is.
okay. And any programs we create here goes into that folder that we picked, correct?
I'll show you. I mean, you will put them in the right places basically. So if you see here, I mean, there are all these fields, account name, all these guys. I mean, the moment we go to this in here, you will immediately see all those fields here. But this is still on the cloud. This is not in our machine. So let's say now if I just click this guy, this retrieve source from org, simply it will download all these fields, basically all the account object, because I clicked on the account object and it basically see here, it says, okay, it brought all those account objects. Now if we go back to this guy and immediately on the objects account, I mean, that one should be there and all the fields and everything is ready for you.
And this is the local, right?
Yeah, so now from cloud, we got all of them into our local machine. So I see there is a SLA underscore C custom field. I mean, anything underscore C is a custom field. And now if I go back to org, so let's see that SLA field. I think Salesforce by default created some custom field. And now when you see this guy, so basically there is custom, I mean, gold, silver, platinum, bronze. So maybe they give four options. So now let's say, I mean, if you want to change anything, I mean, you have to go to this org. You have to basically create a new option and all that stuff you have to do. But whereas if I want to do it from CLI, I can make small change here. So let's say I want to add one more value option. I simply go here. I will say new some medal basically, whatever. Let's say copper or whatever. Even though that doesn't make sense, just for the sake of some value. All I'm saying, I duplicated a value and I basically changed those names. So now I on my local for SLA pick list, I added some value. Now if I want to send this guy, basically I'm right clicking here and deploy this source to org. So immediately now it will take this guy and deploy it to org. Now if I bring this guy, reload. See here, basically immediately you see another option.
Can you
And,
once show how you have reloaded it?
Yeah. So, reload. Yeah, I mean, first I added this thing. You
Yeah,
saw
I
this
have
thing,
added
right?
that.
I basically right click and deploy
Yeah,
this
I did
source
that.
to org. And once then I go back to the org.
Yeah.
And just reload refresh the page. Basically.
Oh, refresh the page.
Yeah, I was on the field already, so I just reload that page. Okay. I mean, if you see here, I mean, this is the powerful with the CLI. So let's say if you want to make this change, and maybe you have a dev org, you have QA org, you have maybe staging, and you have production, 4 orgs. If you want to make that change, and if you want to deploy it to 4 different orgs, typically if you don't have CLI, what you have to do, so you go to your developer org, make this change, create a change set, outbound change set, and if maybe one time what you have to do, basically your upper system has to say, you have to go settings and say accept incoming changes from your dev org, all the settings you have to do. And then once you do those things, potentially you create a change set, deploy it. I mean, you can deploy, basically you have to create a change set and upload the change set and go to the target org, login, and basically you will see that incoming change set and accept the change set. That is once, I mean, 3-4 things that you have to do. And every time you create a change set, it will at least take maybe 3-4 minutes so that it will appear in the target arc. And now basically 3 minutes you spend some time, and again you have to go to the next arc, basically do the same thing 3 times. Whereas here, let's say if I have another arc, simply I switch to the arc here, and all I have to do is maybe let's say the 502. So I switch to a different arc, and if that arc has this field, I mean, even if that doesn't have a field, I can simply send this SLA field into the arc without any problem. So just right click, deploy. And since my new arc, whatever, I mean, it is still setting the new arc to default arc. Once it is ready, it's a matter of me right clicking on the same file. I mean, I don't even need to change anything. And let me show you, this is a different arc, not the one that I created today. And simply by switching and right clicking, deploying, so that's all I need to do. I mean, that's where the CLIs will come very handy. But there are a lot of DevOps processes that will be there in enterprises, but you will automate all these processes maybe to a greater degree in enterprises. But with for that work that you do, simply if you have to deploy to multiple arcs, so this is very handy.
Sorry, I'm like after you downloaded the account object, right, from the cloud, you went to the very first Explorer icon, right, and then where did you see the objects that we downloaded?
I'm showing it. Oh, on the local. Okay. So
yeah, on the local.
Yeah. So basically, when you go here, Force app.
Okay, Force app. Yeah, I am okay. Yeah.
Force app
Objects.
account field. And I mean now, since you know there is a field, at least you saw there is a field called SLA. You simply type for that guy, and just double click that guy, and that will open. Now if you go back, immediately it will highlight that thing. I mean, let's say if you don't even know the path, this is an easiest way, but at least you have to know what you downloaded, kind of thing.
Okay.
Can I also search with the full name, like like right now you have mentioned copper, right?
I mean, this one, you see, this is a classic experience. I mean, I haven't switched to Lightning, but if I look for accounts, I think, and that's how we go here and fields. And if at all there is SLA, this custom field is not even there. So now if I go back to this guy, and since I already authenticated this one, so if I simply say deploy the source to Arc, it should deploy this custom field entirely. I mean, not only that option that we set, and if I reload, it should have that custom field here. Yeah, so see, I mean, it should be that simple with CLI. So otherwise, now if I don't have all this stuff, potentially these are all things that you will be doing. So you will go to deployment settings, you enable this inbound change sets and all some crazy stuff, and then you create outbound change set, and then you come back here, or maybe select the field that you created or changed, and then select deploy. And I mean, there are multiple steps that you need to do with change sets, but with these things, it is very easy. So
usually the deployment settings are already set up, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, that is one-time thing in the Arc. So let's say if you have dev, production, quality, and the staging system, usually one time they set up, okay, the systems should be able to do handshake basically. So if you say, okay, hey, production, from production, let's say if you only want to get your changes from quality system, you won't even say, okay, the other systems can send the changes to me. Some kind of production system, when you are setting the settings, you will say, okay, only accept changes from quality system, but not from other systems. That way, these guys can't even upload a change set to the production system.
Got it.
Yeah, I know it. I'm talking on the air, but basically you have to accept in the target arc from where you will take the changes, from which arc you will make the we will be able to receive the changes. Those settings usually in the arc, one time they will set it, and from there onwards, basically it's from the accepted arc you will go create the change set, upload the change set to the target arc, and the target arc you will, once it is ready, all you have to say basically you click one button that will deploy the changes into the arc.
So Srikanth, so depending on how production environment is set up to get the code in, if say, you know, it's set up in such a way that it has to receive only from QA, then if you try to push it from any other environment, it's going to reject it. Is that how it is?
You can't even create a change set into that arc basically.
Oh, okay.
So and I mean with these things CLI also, you need to have some power. I mean on your user ID you have to have some permissions. I mean because on your arc whatever we created, so you are system admin, that's why you are able to do all these things. Let's say production system, I have access, but I mean we shouldn't be deploying changes left and right. So they will say they won't give system admin access in production. They will give you limited access. They will have IP range settings, all that stuff. That way, not every developer should be, I mean, will be able to deploy changes to production. Only certain people will be able to deploy. I mean, those controls will always be there on enterprise level. But here, since we are using our own system, because we are system admin, we are able to deploy. I mean, just for you to remember, there will be some guardrails that every enterprise will have.
Okay, yeah, I understood.
Okay, so let's go back. I mean, the data types. I mean, let's spend some time on the data types. Okay, yeah, before that, I think let me just talk a few things on this guy. And we looked at Apex class. We can write small scripts and we can execute it. And there is another guy here, so Sakal. So if you open that guy, and so this is very handy thing. If you want to see some fields or some data immediately, I mean, you can select it. You can again go to command palette and here this time now, if you can type in Sakal, SOKL, and it will give you an option to execute that one. So and so typically for data you can use REST API. For metadata you may want to use tooling API. So for now just select REST API, and it will select I mean it will bring the data ID and name fields from account object, and it will show you on the bottom here. I mean to execute.
Can you once repeat that, Srikanth?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, I will show you multiple ways. Yeah. So basically, you select the you write the Sakal query, and yeah. So basically, there are 4 accounts on this arc, and what do you do? So you select this guy. You go to view. You go to command palette. And I mean, you know that you are retrieving some data. So basically, in Salesforce, it is Salesforce object query language. You use that Sakal, execute Sakal, and with currently selected text. So that's why we highlighted text, and then we went here. Okay. And so select REST API, and it will execute and show you the data. So again, so I mean, it executed one more time and it showed this thing. And now there is another way to do this thing. You don't have to, let's say if you want SLA field, I mean, you need to remember SLA __ C, all that stuff. Whereas if you click on this icon here, switch between Sakal builder and text editor. So if it will take you to a little different interface. Whereas here,
Srikanth, where is that icon where you switched?
On the right hand side, when you are in the account SOQL file, I mean, only when you are in .SOQL file, on the right hand side, you will see one small icon, switch between SOQL builder and text editor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just
Yeah, I
click
see
that
that.
guy. So when you click on that one, basically now, not only account objects. So let's say if you want to check some data on contact, you can simply type in contact. And now you can select contact object and fields. You can select maybe, I mean, there is, I mean, if you are familiar with SQL, basically select star and maybe object name from some object name or data table name you give. This is similar. Select all fields. You can select that guy, and it will select all the fields on that object, and you can just run the query, and
So
it will show you all the results here.
kind of an editor, right? That's it.
Yeah, I mean, simple thing. I mean, there are multiple tools that Salesforce give you to make the developer life easy. I mean, whereas if you want to do the same thing in developer console, typically you go, I mean, obviously you go developer console. And so the query editor is right here. You write the query. So I mean, obviously you have to type. I mean, if you don't want to type, there is a little different way. I think you can go to contact. I think you can select this guy. And now you can potentially can say all these fields query, and that's how you can do it in here. So I mean, multiple ways. I mean, there are tools, and all you need to know is there are multiple ways you can do the things. Yeah. So now it is a little readable thing here. Okay. So the other advantage here, once you get the result, you can easily export into CSV files or JSON, and maybe whatever you want to do with it. So you should be able to do it later. Okay, so I mean, those are some tools at your hand. And obviously, if you want to, I mean, the same things you can do using the CLI commands also. If you see, if you take this guy, and I believe you should be able to run this guy here. I mean, these are the CLI commands. So SFDX force data SOQL query, and you can give this thing, and it will basically execute it. And I mean, you are doing this in the terminal, and you should be able to get the data.
So, Srikanth, just maybe a basic question. The CLI command, right? Like, it's basically I know you showed us the editor where you can write a query, which is a SOQL query. This is kind of another way to execute it from CLI, right?
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah. So I mean, there are multiple ways. Basically, I mean, Salesforce, the way they gave you APIs, and you should be able to use it however you want to use. I mean, that's the bottom line. There is not one single way, multiple ways. Simple. Okay.
Okay, but the multiple ways. But when do we? I mean, like, is there any like any particular what do I say?
Reason to use this.
Yeah, reason to use. Yeah.
So typically, I mean, in what will happen in production, or maybe sometimes they say, okay, hey, something is not working. Can you please look into it, kind of thing. That's how the requirements come to you. Then you will, I mean, obviously, when something is not working because everything is around the data, you will say, okay, maybe I'm not able to see some records or something. If they say, I mean, one thing for you to do, start with, you have to see whether you are able to access the data by yourself. I mean, that's when these tools will come handy to execute and see, okay, whether there is data or not, and maybe what is the where condition that we are putting on these things. So, I mean, those are the things that you will do. But I mean, slowly we'll get into that. When do we use I mean, why do you need to retrieve the data from the database? I mean, sometimes you may want to do some automation. You have to create data into the database. So those are all things will come. Basically for troubleshooting, I mean, whatever we have done, I mean, whatever I have shown, the SQL queries and all, you typically use it for troubleshooting sake, not more than that. And also when you want to write some code, typically I mean, when you are trying to write the code, potentially you can write the code here also. Let's say if you have to retrieve the data, I mean, let's say, let's take some small use case. If they say, I mean, the way here, where is our circle? So let's say here, maybe let's take one example, select first name. So let me actually switch to our developer, the training org, dev training, so that you will see, you will also see the same data. Then, I mean, if the requirement is, okay, hey, we are using sandbox, and business might say these contacts are business contacts. We don't want to send emails to business emails, but we want to create some dummy emails, or maybe we want to use our own emails, either on contact or account user object, those things. So those are very common scenarios for us to handle. Now, when I have this guy, so I will basically execute this thing, and I will see what are all the emails that are maintained on this thing. Let's see some email address and contact. Actually, it is a good segue for us to go to our data types. And they might say, don't use real email address, but use some dummy email address. So you see here, these potentially it may be a real business user, but we are using some test data, and accidentally we might send some emails to real business contacts. At that time, potentially what business might say, okay, whenever you have a sandbox, please mask those email addresses so that you don't send accidentally some emails to business. So during that time, we potentially write some scripts to change these email addresses. So, I mean, let's do that. So what we do, so we want to retrieve these contacts. I mean, the way we want to do, so this is where these scripts will come handy. I'll take the same thing, the circle. First, I need to retrieve the business data. I mean, whatever there is there in the database. So I'll go back and I'll remove this guy. And so I know this is my circle. So basically this gets me my contact addresses, all the contact address. And now we have to form it. So with the circle, we can just execute it like that. But when you are running Apex has to understand some basic structure. So it has to know what is the data type, what is all that stuff. Now, since we are trying to work on contact, and there are multiple records on contacts, now when we are taking the data, so we have to take a list of contacts. The way we do,
Shrikant?
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Just a quick question. So this is just a SOQL query on contacts, right? Contact object, right?
This guy, yeah.
Yeah. So in this case, do we have to download it from the cloud?
You don't have to download. So you basically you work on the cloud entire thing.
Okay.
I mean, this is, I just showed you. I mean, there may be millions of records. You don't want to download all that stuff. So basically, but you still need to mask it.
When I say download, right? Like, we in order to modify, we initially went to that cloud icon on the left.
I mean, this is just the metadata. It is not
Okay.
data that you are downloading. So, okay, so you are saying, do I need to go to contact
Contacts.
and download that thing? I mean, for you, if you want the metadata, you may need to download this guy, but
Okay.
not every time. I mean, usually it's better to have this local copy. But for now, I mean, I don't need to download. I'm not downloading this. I mean, if I
Okay.
want,
Okay.
I
I
can
got
do.
it. So this is basically metadata. It's not the data
Yeah,
for. Yeah.
that's
Okay.
not data. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever
Okay.
you do, so this is data.
Okay.
So
Got it. Yeah.
now, in order for me, so basically our thing is, our task is update contact email to dummy email address. Okay, so that's what the requirement for us. Okay, so that's exactly what we are trying to do. So in order for us to do that stuff, we want to retrieve contacts. I mean, this is all going to run in Apex. I mean, the on the cloud. We are writing the script basically. So now, first thing, we have to have the data type. So here I need to have all the list of contacts. That's why, I mean, this is how you define.
Actually, Shrikant, when I am typing, I'm not seeing those, I mean, like the list that you're seeing, I'm not seeing that on my,
Which list?
like when you're typing it, when you type C, you're seeing everything listed out, right?
Oh, okay. Let me see.
Like when I do list, I'm not getting any of those. Like, is it some extension that I've missed downloading?
No, it should get you all that stuff. I mean, if you see here, potentially that is coming because there is something here, config. I believe there is some. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any objects, but it is still doing it because there should be something that will say. I mean, basically that one is called auto.
Yeah, something
Auto
like
complete. So yeah, I think this should be here. Custom components. Okay, I'm still in the dev training. Yeah, so there is this guy. Custom
account.
object contact.
Which is it?
I mean, I see custom object contact JSON. Let me see what fields it has.
For that, I'm actually seeing only custom object underscore account.json. I don't see custom object underscore contact.json. I don't see that.
Yeah, maybe that may be the reason why you are not seeing, but this one is dev train. Okay, so basically I may have downloaded this thing. That's why I'm seeing it. Typing SObjects. Yeah, so I believe
But
this is the reason. So if you see here under tools, SObject standard, do you have all these things?
Subject standard, I have account. I
But
have
I mean, I
accounts
was seeing
available.
little more than these things also. So
I do see them. Yes, I have them.
okay, I mean, then you should be able to see this auto complete thing also.
Icons. But I clearly in the orgs, I only see custom object underscore account.json. Not for you, I saw custom object underscore contacts.json.
Okay.
Under orgs. Yeah, the one about tools. Yeah, over here.
Yeah, I mean, I not only this guy, so I mean, I have multiple objects.
Okay.
Custom object, account contact role. Yeah, one of those are responsible for these things. I think basically it will have some indexing done, and because of that, it will come.
Is there any?
Yeah, you can do one thing. Potentially, I mean, this is a little overkill for to have in everything in the local. Since you are downloading, I mean, can you download this contact object?
Account. Okay.
Try to download, and maybe when you are now after that,
or maybe
I
can change my SOCL to account. I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking.
No, I mean, let's see. I mean, but for me, not only this guy, so basically case and all these things are coming.
Yeah, I don't see any of that.
Yeah, I mean, I may be using some project where I downloaded some objects. I'm thinking.
I see it because I just downloaded the pack which says 9, just so that
Which says 9.
Yeah, the Salesforce pack, the plug extension. That's what is causing all these, right?
I mean, you have 9 and 13, both of them you have it, right?
Yeah, I downloaded the one with 9.
Okay, I mean, it doesn't matter. So most probably that is coming because of this one of these indexes on the local side.
Oh, okay.
So on your local file under SFDX, so these are all Salesforce DX thing. And here, what are all the objects that you have all that? So I mean, these will decide. You don't see any of these things then?
Tools, I actually see all of that you're seeing.
Okay, you are seeing these things.
Yeah.
And but when you say, okay, now let's say if I want to do price book or something, so I mean, I can see it immediately.
Yeah, I mean, like when I type list, I can at least see the color coding, but I don't see anything.
Yeah, I mean, some of these can be Mac versus Windows also.
Oh, really? Achha.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Autocomplete depends on metadata cache. Okay, maybe you can do
View
this thing.
command
SFDX.
okay.
Yeah, try this thing. I think this might work. SFDX. You see this guy, SFDX refresh object definitions. Try this thing. So when you go here.
It is SObjects definitions, right? Refresh SObjects.
Just to type this guy. So yeah, refresh SObject definitions. Yep.
Okay. And then it says all objects.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I'll just select okay and see what will happen.
Okay. Okay, it ran successfully.
Yeah, I think that should do it basically.
I think now it is showing up.
Good. So
not like yours though, but at least. Yeah, not exactly like yours. You see that yellow and no, I don't see that like that.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, we can continue.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, this is how you define the use. I mean, you use variables. So let's say let's give some name. Dummy. I will explain. So what I'm saying, I'm defining first sales in Salesforce. We have to say what type of is the object that we are defining, and this is second one is variable name. So since we are going to hold a list of things, we are defining list. This is the syntax basically. And if you want to just define one contact, so you just need to say contact object. I mean, that's the backend SObject name. And then you can say dummy contact. Some basically this is how you define. Okay, then you will say new contact, and that's how you define the variable. Okay, so earlier we defined string str something, right? So basically here this is the data type and this is a variable name. Here this is I mean, here it is I mean, there are something called primitives, string, number, decimal, those kind of things. So those and Salesforce, with Salesforce, the main thing is whenever you want to define talk about these subjects, I mean, the tables in Salesforce, they are called as SObjects. All SObjects are contact, account, all that everything, price book, product, everything is SObject in Salesforce because everything is a table. And when you want to refer to those, I mean, this is how you refer. Basically, if you want to refer a contact, you simply say contact, and then you give a variable name, and you have to instantiate one particular instance. That's why you write this thing, new contact. I mean, this is all syntax. And if you want to go for a list, so I mean, let's move this guy on line 4. So that is one variable, and this is a list of variables. All we do is, I mean, you just add list in front of the SObject name, and you put them in the brackets. And now again, you just simply say new list contacts. So basically, you simply take the same thing. So that's the syntax. Basically, when you want to work with multiple records, you call that one as list, and the object name, and you just give some variable name, and since you have to instantiate one particular thing, you call this guy, and that is the syntax. Now we got this guy, and we need to so now we need to get all the contacts. So for that, we have to make that circle thing. When you want to make circle, this is how you just take that circle query, whatever you have it earlier, the circle builder so that you wrote, you get that thing. So this is how you assign a list of records. Basically, you define a list here, and you give some name, and for that name, since you want to get some records, and you are assigning those records here. So that's 2 steps that we did. I mean, these 2 things, just to show the difference, I kept it there, but there is no value for these things here. And the comments, if you want to use comments, potentially just add to / that will all the green ones are comments basically. And now we have a variable, we are storing some, we got all these things. Our idea, our thing that we are trying to do is update all the contacts emails with some dummy name. So now we have this thing, so we need to loop through all these contacts, and for each email field record, we have to basically, maybe let's say, add some dummy at the end. So that's why let's do that thing. And now since we have to loop through, potentially we have to use that for loop. And again, first we have to define the way you access this. So potentially you can say you define a variable. I mean, object. Again, this is syntax. Basically, now you have to loop through multiple records. When you are looping through, you loop through a list, and you loop through one by one record. That's what we are doing here. We are selecting one record, and now we have all these things. So this is we are saying, okay, hey, I have all these records, and if I want you to loop through each and every record and do something. So that's what we are going to do. And now, since we selected these things, so this guy will have these 3 fields from the contact object at runtime. And now we have to basically change the email address. So in order for us to access that guy, basically con.email equal to, so let's take the existing value and basically add some dummy at the end. Okay, so you understand? Do you understand? Are you with me so far? I mean, this is
Yes,
all
Srikanth.
syntax. We selected all the contacts in the arc. So I think how many records we have. I don't know that thing. Yeah, we can execute this guy one more time. So basically, when you have something here, you just highlight the guy, and you can go to command palette. You simply execute circle. It will execute it for you and show the result here. And I believe we have about 20 contacts or something.
While it executes, this is a data Apex class, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can we can execute this even from terminal and by issuing a command line.
The
command?
same thing. Yes, the
Yeah.
same thing. You can just use this SFDX query, and you can use this guy. And this time, since we want a different thing, so this one is running for an account. Now since you want it for contact, you simply select this guy. And
No. My question is, Shrikant. So this is this code that we are writing is in datatypes.apex class, right? Can we call that datatypes.apex from command line?
Yeah, you can call that one.
Okay. Yeah. Just trying to compare with what I have seen in with the different language.
I mean, this is what are we doing? So basically, we are creating an utility that changes email, that converts that email field into some dummy, so that accidentally we won't send any emails to real customers in development systems. Okay. So now basically we assign this thing, but we have to issue a command back to Salesforce saying update the thing. So now I can call update dummy contacts. I mean, runtime basically it acts like pointers. It already the moment I change this guy, basically it also changes the value in the dummy contacts thing. So first when I get this, when I issue this thing, dummy contact will have these records, and all these records will have I mean, rows at edge.com, again Sean at edge.com, all that stuff. As I am looping through individual thing, I'm assigning the plus dummy rows edge.com, maybe com dot dummy something. So basically, yeah,
Dummy will be appended in the last.
yeah. So that basically com dot dummy dot so that's something like that. I mean, if it would it take it? Let's see.
Maybe we should say dummy plus con.email this way.
Yeah. So let's see. That, I mean, I was little. I mean, maybe there may be some Salesforce validations. .com .dummy, it might not take it. Let's take the other way.
I think it would be without dot, it would be .com/dummy, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if I take exactly like that .com, it will become com dummy again. So if that's why I want to add .dummy, .com .dummy, it will become. But rather than that, let's take this guy and put it in front of the email address. So basically now it will become dummy rows at edge.com or something. Okay, so now I'm issuing, and in Salesforce, basically they always talk about bulkification, and I can always call update for each individual record, but that's not, I mean, good practice. So you always have to retrieve the results. I mean, do the list, do whatever you do at runtime, and then finally issue the command. So now if we execute this guy, so
is that the governor limit that you were talking about yesterday?
Yeah. So now DML exception. So
should we always select the text that we want to execute?
Sorry?
Should we always select the whole text that we want to execute?
Yeah, you have to select. I mean, because when you see here, the way you execute anonymous with currently with
selected
test. I believe if you don't select this thing, let's say if I execute anything, let's say execute, it might say, okay, you didn't select anything. Let's see. I think it executed that entire file, I think. So or execute anonymous apex. Yeah, basically it didn't execute anything because we didn't select anything. It didn't execute anything. So now again, I select this guy. When I see there is a problem, we will fix that one. So I will execute again. And now basically it is throwing an error. So if you see the data, where was the data? Yeah, so there are these null values. For null values, it is trying to say dummy. So, but in Salesforce, there will be some validations when you are updating the fields, whether it is meeting that field data definition. It is for Jake, it is adding dummy as email address. So there is no email address. We are just appending dummy. But usually for any email field, we any system would expect @ something. So that is not there. That's why it is failing. So for us now, we need to somehow exclude those things. So now that's where this where conditions will come handy. So we are saying where email not equals to null. So now when I execute this guy, so it should only retrieve. So right now there are 20 records. This query should execute only 18 records to start with. Oh, come on. It is acting little slow. So now we got those 18 records. Now if we execute, at least that we shouldn't be running into that whatever that earlier error that we saw. So now let's execute this guy. We put that condition so that it won't get those null records on the email. Invalid email address, dummy B. What is this guy saying? Dummy B. So let's look at this contact. Okay, you see the contact email address that is maintained on this one. It is actually not meeting the Salesforce requirements. I don't know how it passed. Let's say if we try to just edit this guy, let's add something. It should throw that. Okay, I don't know why. Okay, let's fix this field.
Actually, after you edit this, Shrikant, can you show how you copied that
Yeah.
URL? Yeah.
So now at least that one shouldn't be there. So I mean, it was throwing, it was complaining about some field. System.dml exception update failed. First exception on row 9 with ID. It is saying invalid email address. So when I am updating that field, basically it is looking at that guy on that email address. So there is some weird character, express SSL or DATNT or something. There was some weird character there. It was complaining about that thing. And I mean, now I took this record. This is the Salesforce record ID 003 for that contact. Okay. So I went to Salesforce, basically on the base URL. I mean, this is called base URL. Anything, I mean, up to the force.com. I just add a / and then I pasted that thing. And now when I hit enter, basically it will again reformat all that stuff, but we don't need to worry too much about it. All we have to do is how to, I mean, take the base URL, add a / and use your ID, record ID, and it will basically take you to that particular record. Okay. So now I think we fixed that problem. So now let's run this thing again. There is another thing, I guess. 003. So this time, I mean, since I'm already on the contact, I mean, I don't have to replace everything. I mean, I can technically I can do that, but I can also simply do here. So replace that ID. There is another guy. Basically, for some reason, I think Salesforce is not liking this guy. I mean, this time let's let's try to change it on the UI. Let's do this thing. Yeah, see, it is throwing an error. Basically, Salesforce is checking that email address validation only if we change that guy, because from Apex we are trying to change the field. That's why it is again checking the validation, and since it is not meeting the email field requirements, it is failing. So that's why when I'm changing from UI, or when I'm trying to change from the Apex, it is throwing an error. So again, same thing. Let's try to save it. I don't know how many records of this problem, but let's see. I think we may have. Let's try one more time. Yeah, so looks like okay, so I think looks like it went through this time. Now let's run the query one more time to see whether everything is worked as expected. So while it is loading, we can simply reload this thing. Yeah, see here, the change that we tried to do, it already updated onto this thing, and this one is still running. Meanwhile, we check one record. That one record definitely had whatever we expected. Looks like Salesforce, I mean, even though we put uppercase dummy, it actually put the lowercase one. Maybe they're behind the scenes, they're changing it to lowercase. Yeah, you see here, everything got updated to dummy, all that stuff. I mean, these are some, I mean, I'm just giving one use case. I mean, there may, I mean, based on the business use cases, we may have to write sometimes some scripts. Sometimes, I mean, now this one we executed on demand. But every time a contact is updated, we want to do something. Every time a contact is created, we want to do something. So there's different scenarios will come. So how to invoke Apex? That's the one. I mean, there are multiple ways you should be able to invoke. So in this case, we wrote some small script, and we are we are calling that one on demand. So let's say if we want to make it into a class, so that's where the classes would come. And Kishore, this is where you asked. So now, since we want to write a class, this is, they gave you a folder structure, SObjects project. Now we want to write a class. So now let's build this thing, this script into an Apex class. When you write this guy, basically you say create Apex class, and I'm calling this one as update email address, or update contact email address. Let's call that guy. I'm calling my class name update contact email address. Okay, whatever the functionality that I'm trying to do, so I'm giving that name, and I select the default. And now if you see, this one is with a different name, the class name, the .cls. So that's the extension. When you are writing some dummy or maybe execute anonymous code, you add Apex, but whereas for the regular class, you give something like this. I mean, Salesforce automatically add that CLS, And basically this meta class, Salesforce, whenever you create a class, it creates some meta file. The meta file, basically it will tell you what is the API version, that this is the main thing. And sometimes you can deactivate some classes so that you can't invoke those classes. And the API version is very important thing. And Salesforce, with every release that they do, they increment the API version to next number. Basically, right now summer 22 is on 54 or 55, one or the other. So that's how you give the, when you deploy, basically you, Salesforce will deploy both files to the arc. So if you see here, what we did, we just created a class. We gave some name, and it created some template. So public, it's called the identifier. Whether it is who can call this thing. So whether internal people can call it or external people call it. If it is global identifier, even external systems can also call, with provided we give them proper authentication and all. But right now, so this class can be invoked within the Salesforce or anyone, basically. Once we deploy this thing. And so with sharing, without sharing, so this basically, when Salesforce, these are some security related stuff, whoever is running. So now we are writing a class, whoever is executing that class, when end users are trying to do something, potentially we will call this Apex class. At that time, do you want to respect that user access to that record? In an enterprise level, so let's say you are a seller, you have maybe 10 accounts that you daily you have to work with, and you shouldn't be seeing my accounts. So if there may be some business scenarios like that, only whatever the accounts that we assign to that user or seller, he should be seeing, but he should not be seeing other things, other sellers accounts, those kind of things. So in those things, even in Apex class, so if it accidentally tries to update some other records, all that stuff, if we want to avoid those kind of scenarios, so we add this with sharing. What it does, it respects the security model that we define, or maybe admins will define this security model for the users. As a developer, when you define that one, you have to respect what admin has done. So that's where we add this with sharing. Sometimes there may be scenarios you have to run some data updates on all accounts, whether you have access or not. It has to go through system mode, and it gets access to all the data, and it will update that. That's those times you add something called without sharing. Without sharing means no matter what, whether the user has access to it or not, if the user is able to give a record ID, so let it we want to use whatever the functionality that we are writing in this class, it should be applied no matter whether user has access or not. So those are the things with sharing, without sharing. That's the keyword. And class, obviously, since we are writing class, it is they're adding that class name, and then this is the name of the class. And basically, if this is kind of constructor, so if you have a method with same name, that is called constructor. So now let's we don't need to worry too much about constructor and those things. And now the main thing is whatever we wrote here, we want to bring it into this class. So let's bring it. And for that, first thing, if at all, whenever you need to work with classes, the bare minimum thing that you need, a class and method. So now we need to define a method public. This class, it is just doing update, but it is not returning anything. So for that reason, we can say void. Basically, the void means it is not returning anything. And update email. So that's the method name that I'm giving. And then for now, this method, we don't need to pass any parameters. We can expand on this class. For now, someone can call this class, someone can do some stuff. All that they do, Now let's bring all of this thing and put it in our class. I mean our class method. So all we did was
What did you do for indentation?
You simply select the thing and you can do tab. So if you do simple tab, basically it will go. And if you want to send it back, use shift tab.
Okay.
So here basically we call one method and we okay, looks like there is some syntax errors. Let's see. Thread circle security. I mean these are warnings. So I mean Salesforce is asking validate CRUD permissions. Okay, so basically this is all these two errors, I mean not errors, warnings came because of the extension that we added. So when we added the extension, so we also added that Apex PMD, if you recall. So this extension pack, I mean these are the useful features from these extension packs. Extension pack. Where did that go? Let's do one thing. So we have the installed ones here. Salesforce. Yeah, expanded. So this is the guy. So for this one, so we got this Apex PMD. So this Apex PMD is throwing some error basically. I mean, alerting us, saying, okay, hey, you are the code, whatever you are writing here is not up to the standard. Basically, there is little few things that you may want to adjust. I mean, that's what it is saying. I mean, there is no, right now there is no problem, but it is saying, so it is giving some hints for us. So now I believe this code is fine. So now I mean, this class, this whatever the code that we wrote, it is still in the local. So we still did not deploy this thing. Now what we can do in order for us to send this guy to this arg. Now let's go to this guy. So we are in the arg now. And if you see the classes, obviously there shouldn't be anything in this thing, in this arg yet. Yeah, so there is nothing in this arg. Now let's deploy this thing, deploy this source to arg. I mean, if there is any syntax error, potentially it will throw, I mean, there is no syntax error, so it was able to deploy. I mean, at the time of deployment, it will check for syntax and all the stuff. If there is a problem, it won't commit to Salesforce, and it will throw some error and it will stop us, and we have to fix that thing. So now we have that class here. So we got the class.
Sorry, can you once again show how to deploy it?
Yeah, so just right click and say SObjects deploy this source to arg.
Okay.
You got to be on that class, or on the left hand side you can go to this thing and you can go deploy this source to arg. And again there are CLI commands. If you go to SF DX commands, take this guy. I will give you this one link. And there are multiple ways to do these things basically, I mean, for everything. And if you go to under force and I think force source deploy.
Maybe class.
It's source deploy.
Okay.
So if you see here, you can give a path, or you can give individual thing. I mean, since now we are trying to deploy one member, basically -m is just for a member. We can use that guy. So if you see -m, I thing metadata. So you can use that guy. And now all we are doing, so since we are sending one class, so I can give minus 6, 1 second. Yeah, here. I'll take this guy. I mean, if I want to deploy this thing, and then I have to use the colon. I have to use this class name. Where to add class? Okay, I think Apex class. Let's see. I think this might throw some error. Let's see. And also you can get those things from here also.
But Shrikant, we already deployed, right? Deploying it again, will it?
Yeah, I mean there won't be any problem. So you can
Okay.
apply it.
It'll override, right? That's it, right?
Yeah, it will just overwrite. I think I'm pretty sure there is something wrong with this command. Maybe. Okay. So the other thing that we can do, you can copy relative path, and so you can use. I mean, on the documentation when you saw there is -p, and then you can use this guy. I mean, if you go back, there is a -p option here. In the here we will say path. So what is the path? And that's the path I'm saying, and this one definitely should work. And meanwhile that is working, so basically Apex class. Okay, yeah, this is how we should be issuing that command. We have to say -m Apex class and then class. Yeah, now it is deploying and it deployed successfully. Now if I use the other way, -Apex class, and now we have to get the class name and replace this my Apex class with that thing.
Does it take too long to deploy? Like, I mean,
I mean, it shouldn't take. I mean, it is not within maybe 4 or 5 seconds. It is doing now. I mean, it has to go to the arc, verify everything is fine, and then it has to deploy. And one thing, if you go back to Salesforce, if you see the deploy here, and you should be able to see all the thing here, deployment status. Every time you deploy, so basically it will record something here. And that's what I think it is giving these numbers here. So those are the deployment numbers. If you see here, OA something.
yeah, but okay. On home, I'm trying to type deploy. I'm not able to find it.
Okay, no, you don't type. You
Okay.
right click and do this. Or I mean, if you want to use CLI commands.
No, not on this one. On the org, like, you know, on the web page. When I'm trying to search for deploy, just to see the deploy status.
Oh, okay. Oh, so in the setup you are saying.
Yeah.
You are not seeing that?
No, I'm not.
How did you go to home? I mean, there are 2 ways to go home, I think.
I clicked on the bottom, like, you know, the org.
Yeah, you went there. Then did you go to setup?
No, okay.
Yeah, so once you go to setup, then you will be able to see home.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Yeah. So now, I mean, we did this thing. We created a class, but we need to know how to invoke this class. So there are multiple ways to invoke. So I mean, let's go back to our Apex, the data types one. And now let's remove this code. Basically, I mean, let's comment out this guy. If you want to comment out multiple lines, I mean, you basically do this thing, one forward slash and then star, and wherever up to where you want to comment, you basically do that thing. And this code, if you recall, we never deployed this thing, data types .typex to org. There is no way you can deploy. This is some dummy code that you are writing, and you don't want to deploy this thing. So that's why if you want to have something in the org, so that's where you create class and you use it. Now, I mean, we have a class in Salesforce, and we saw that one by going into, okay, this is the wrong org, and we saw this class here. And we know all that stuff is available, okay? But now if we want to call this class, so now let's call this class from here. And before that, let's make some change to one of the contacts that we already saw. This time, potentially we will try to change something. So we'll pick up this John Davis. And for John Davis, let's remove the dummy first, and we will run that same thing, and we'll see whether, yeah, I mean, all we are doing is trying to invoke that Apex, the class. Basically, that's all we are doing. So now, I mean, the other classes, other data, if you recall, they all still have dummy at the end, starting. Now, email is not equals to this thing, and email, I think contents not, we have to say, this is where we need some documentation. Let's go back to Salesforce. So basically, if there is a contact that has dummy already, I don't want to select that one. Okay, so that's for that I'm trying to get the some syntax. Conditional expression where class. So
Like
basically,
okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I was just saying like doesn't work, and then it prompt like you brought up.
Okay, yeah, basically like, but I mean, we don't like gives us, we want the other way. So I mean, if you say email like start with the dummy, right? So star, we need to use that percentage symbol.
Percentage, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, this is going to give all the dummy ones. So we want the negation. Basically, we want to add negation.
Not okay, not like something.
Yeah. So I believe there is not or something that we have. Negative null. Not equals to, so contains not something. Yeah, not like basically. Okay. So we are saying, okay, we want only the emails that don't have null, and email does not have dummy on it. I think there should be only one email like this one, the one that we just changed. Let's run Circle. usually, I mean, these kind of queries we shouldn't be writing in production thing, not like those things. Those are very bad performance queries, especially not under those things and like those kind of things. Okay, so that one they didn't like it. Okay, not. Okay, looks like they tried it and that didn't work. That's what I think it said. Carrier ID not like that guy. Not the current syntax is not. Okay, maybe we need to use braces. Maybe. Not okay. Email. Okay, so this guy has to go in, and this one has to go inside to the brackets. And not unexpected cannot. That should be okay. Where email like. Let's go to the circle. Excludes.
Starts with, right?
Add. Second excludes. Exclude operator can be used for this field type. Okay. Not it.
Contains dummy.
Contains, yeah, contains dummy. We don't want that one, right? We want the opposite one. If we say contains dummy, so it is going to give all, and again we are
Yeah.
trying to update something. So we want only the ones that don't have dummy on it. Email. This one should work, but let's see where email.
Shrikant, like, and you have not, and then email starts with dummy. That doesn't work.
There is no starts in Apex. I mean, it is like, and basically if you say a star, it contains, and if you say a star, I mean, to starts with, you say this kind of thing. If you don't add the I mean the percentage thing, that's how it takes. Okay, basically
Not contains doesn't work. Not is negating, right?
That's the one. It is throwing. It is not taking basically
Okay,
not
okay.
email like this guy and let's at least
So,
see this
so you're
work.
saying, so in Apex we don't have contains and starts, right?
No,
Is that
no.
what? Okay.
Basically, contents
Okay.
is like
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, now we got these things, but we don't want these two. These two will give us problem. I mean, I can always write some if clause here and execute escape those things. And email not equals to, let's try one more time this guy. I mean, if this doesn't work, I can put the same condition inside the for loop. Yeah, so something, I mean, for some reason it didn't like it. I mean, I can take care of it later. I'll look into that. So for now, I mean, since we already saw if we have dummy and if we append something, it will throw some error. Now we can say con email equal to so if it is not equals to null, then only we want to update this thing. So this way, I mean, instead of, I mean, either we can put the condition there or here. I mean, it's always better to write, put the condition on the server. But here we are writing on the runtime, the condition. So if it is not equal to null, then only we're adding the dummy. So now we have only one dummy. I mean, we saw, where was that? So we saw Josh Davis has some email, but don't have dummy on it. And these two emails we can ignore from here, and that's how we are going to run it. So now we change the apex. We change the apex on the local, so we did not change it onto the server yet. So for that we need to deploy. So now let's deploy this guy. So the code is deployed. Now if I go back, we haven't figured out how to invoke the apex. So the way you invoke the apex, so since it has this public, the method is public, we can call from external. But the way class is defined, the method is defined just a instance method. We need to create an instance. Let's actually add one keyword here, static. Static, right. I will tell you the difference between this guy and that one. Now we were able to deploy the code. Now I can invoke it from here. So in order to invoke, since I name this method as static, I can directly call this without invoking, without instantiating. So I can directly call this guy. So update email. See, the auto complete is already giving me. So there is this class, and there is a method available on it. So it is, I can simply select that guy and put this one. And now if I call this guy, it is invoking that class and that particular method. And when the expectation is, now when this Josh Davis should get the dummy again before that email address. That's the expectation. So now let's go run this Apex. It executed. Now let's run this query one more time. So while it is running, since it is running little slow, let's go back and see. I think this is the Josh Davis.
Shrikant, do you mind stopping after we see the result?
Yeah. So I mean, let's stop here. Yeah, see again, we got the dummy guy, and this one is still running. Yeah, I mean, that's how you use the data types. I mean, maybe I will just ask you to do something on your own, and then we can stop it. Okay. Yeah. One quick thing, I will show you the difference without the static. If we don't have static, deploy, and I cannot invoke the method the same way. Now if I call this guy, immediately it will throw a syntax error saying, okay, you cannot call it like this. Yeah, see error, non-static methods can be called. So in order for us to call this one with this way, I mean, again, so syntax is same. We have to call the class name, and potentially you can say UCE some class name, variable name, and then basically I'm instantiating that class, and now I can UCE dot. So this one will work. So did I deploy? Yeah, I think I deployed. So this one will work basically. I mean, now there is no syntax error, so it worked. I mean, the way how you define the class, whether static or static method or regular method, I mean, with static or without static, the way how you invoke the Apex is going to change. And the syntax is same. The way, I mean, standard, the object name. I mean, earlier we were calling string, and then sometimes we call contact, sometimes we call list of string, list of objects, and here we call some Apex class. Everything is same. Left side, you just define the method, I mean the variable name, the object name or data type name, and then you give name. And then if it is needed for primitives, you don't need to give that new thing, but for objects and all, you need to give new and the brackets. And so then you can start using those methods and all on top of that. So I mean, I did not really cover much on the primitive data types. I'm hoping you should be able to do it on your own. Let me point you to some few things which will help you for those. You can go take a look at that. What is the thing that I gave you? The trailhead one. So, or maybe I can give that information little later. Here please. Yeah, let me send that thing. So for the in the trailhead thing that we talked about. Yeah, we started at 8. Actually, I didn't realize the time. It's 2 hours 30 minutes. Yeah,
The only
once
thing, it's Eastern time, it's 11:30. Otherwise, I wouldn't have.
No. I'm glad you asked me. I mean, especially tomorrow, working day for you. So yeah. Yeah, maybe 2 minutes, Kishore.
No problem, Shrikant. No problem.
No, I just want you to have something to work on.
And when are we having our next class?
I think Tuesday should be fine. As I hope. Are you guys okay with Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yes, you can.
Okay. So if you go here, maybe pick this quick start Apex. I think this one has very basic stuff, and then you take the database one. These two, maybe if you can focus on these two by next class. I mean, more or less, it will cover the same things that we discussed. It should work as a little bit refresher, and you should be able to work on these things. Maybe try to finish these things. I mean, here they are doing this DML operations. They are using Apex, and maybe here they might be using some primitives. And here, how to work with SOCL, SOSL. SOSL is another thing, a different way of calling SOCL. I mean, the search. You can try these two. Let me paste these guys. Okay, that is one. Yeah, please try to complete those two by next class. And I think Praveena, you can still use your developer console, but I would say better use the IDE. That way you will be comfortable with IDE also. Okay.
Shrikant, can you hold on for
Yeah,
another
I
10
can
minutes?
stay. Okay.
I wanted to talk about this class part where it is not deploying. So
Yeah, 1 second. Let me stop the recording and then I will let them go. Okay. Good night, everybody. We'll talk Tuesdays.
Good night. See you on Tuesday.
Bye.
Shrikant,
Bye.
would you mind sharing later the recording in the group, WhatsApp group?
Yeah, I think I will ask Sampath because it is going everything onto the cloud. I don't know whether I have access to it. He will share it with you guys.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Shrikant. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
so Shrikant, do you mind if I share my screen with you?
Yeah. Let me make you a presenter. Yeah. Go.
So when I am,
I don't know. Was that recording? I mean, I'm not very sure.
I think it is. I still see recording.
Oh, it is still recording. Okay, good. Yeah, go ahead.
So in my, I mean, like over here, I'm not seeing that meta.
I think you are using dual monitor.
I am not actually. I just split my screen.
Actually, I'm seeing very. I mean, it is barely. I'm barely able to see, and I see two screens.
Now.
Still, right side, I see something. I don't know whether it is on my end, but I see two screens. One screen basically empty screen.
Oh, really? Okay. No, I am not sure. I don't.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'll try to follow you.
Okay. So I'm not seeing if in the classes I have created a new class and I don't see that meta class.
Oh, okay. You created that class manually, I think. Okay. Right click and classes, right click, create Apex class, not new file. So you go little down, create Apex class.
Okay.
Yeah, when you use this guy, and I mean, for you, what you can do, yeah, just say some dummy name. Basically, you can still make that your class working.
Okay.
Don't give the same name.
Yeah, I just put it.
Yeah, I mean, all you need is some meta file name. Without that, you can deploy. Was that the problem for you?
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
So just give some dummy name.
Okay.
It generates that meta file, and you need to prepare that meta file manually by yourself in this case. Did save it. So I mean, select that class name and all. So just proceed with that. Okay, it is generating. Okay. What happened?
I don't know.
What is that thing?
It says failed to run. Okay. Why?
Do one more time. just this time, just say test something. You don't
Okay.
add .cls and all. So just when you're
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
just say test and
Yeah.
what
This
is
is-
that test dot? Are you adding some dot or something?
No, nothing. Test class I did. That's
Oh,
all.
okay. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. So say okay. Yeah. Say
And then it is asking me.
yeah. So the default one is fine. Yeah. So now it added that meta file, right? So basically,
Yes.
what is that thing? So test class .cls.meta XML, is that what it is?
Hyphen meta.
Yeah. So what you do, copy your class name, the regular class name,
Uh-huh.
and you hit enter. I think if you hit enter, it will basically highlight that guy, I guess, or maybe right click and copy. I mean rename and something you need.
Rename. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Copy that name.
Okay.
And right click again on that class folder, create file, because you have to do this thing manually. This time select file itself, create file, right click,
Oh.
create file,
Okay.
and copy that guy, paste that guy,
Okay.
and hyphen meta dot xml.
Oh.
Yeah, enter.
Okay.
And was there any problem? I mean, just check the naming convention. So .cls or something you missed. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I guess. Yeah, rename and add that .cls.
Okay.
Yeah, now try to deploy this class. I mean,
Is it?
to,
What
oh,
is this one?
No, you need to add some. Go back to the test class thing, test meta file.
Okay. I have to
Yeah,
just copy.
Copy entire thing. There is nothing you need to change. Just paste it. Yeah, so now go back to the class. Try to deploy this kind of.
Oh. Is it deployed?
Was there a problem? Or was this problem earlier thing?
Yeah, that type part I don't know.
Can you go back and check in the org?
In the org? Okay, so over here I should type class.
Yeah, I see the class name already. I think.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. All right. This is what I wanted to check.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when we are, I mean, right clicking on those things, we better use the.
Auto-generated.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way
Yeah.
you don't need to do these things.
Got it. Yeah. I think I missed that when you were.
Yeah. Yeah,
Thanks,
I may be going at a little fast.
No. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, all right, good night.
All right. Good night. Bye-bye.
And can you stop the, actually, let me 1 second, reclaim host.
You can.
Yeah, I was able to reclaim and let me stop it.